Stephen Jameson and Tony Holgate are also within the building. 70 minutes on the match clock, race to 12, the round 2 action from the Pro Cup is officially underway. Kyle Cope played earlier, he won very convincingly as well, a terrific performance over Chris Day. And Shaun Chipperfield, for him, he got a bye in round 1, into round 2 he comes, so he comes in cold, and he's got to hit the ground running, even though it's a double elimination. No one wants to drop their first game, it makes it very, very difficult to get yourself back into the tournament. Kyle Cope, with an excellent performance earlier on today, needs to follow it up now. Be an interesting dynamic for someone like Kyle, who's played a super first match. But he has, worth pointing out, played it on a different table, Tony. We're at Players Pool and Snooker here in Newcastle under Lyme, and the club tables, as opposed to the arena table, still supreme winners. And we always heard from the players, even back when the main table was a supreme, that they play very, very differently. Now the main table's the lovely new Rasson Apollo. I think that will become even more evident. And one of the bits of feedback we had from the players at the series weekends is that sort of discrepancy between arena table and outside table had shrunk, with all of them being the new Rassons. And next season, I can tell you all of the tournaments will be played on the same table. That's very much a commitment to the players from Ultimate Pool. So yeah, just an interesting dynamic for Kyle to consider here.
Yeah, the outside tables in Players are very nice tables. I've played the Scenics Tour events here.
Yeah.
They're immaculate, but they are slightly different. Simple as that. As Kyle Cope probably going to try and play this yellow off that red, I think, in the middle. No.
Oh, he's short. Oh, he's just come half the roll to make it okay. He's fine. I thought he was going to leave himself a little bit awkward here, but actually he's just come far enough. Expect him to make this for 1-0. Oh, and he hangs it.
Ouch. But yeah, going back to the outside tables, like I said, that the tables in this club are very, they're immaculate. They're very well looked after, and it's a lovely venue for pool. You couldn't wish for anywhere better. But yeah, jumping from a Supreme to the Rasson Apollo. Yes, they've both got 6 pockets and the balls are the same, but they do play differently down the cushion. They do react a little bit differently off the rail. And if you've played a long match out in the outer arena and come to this table, it's not totally different, but you will notice. I don't know about the speed. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to play out there to know about the speed of the table. I guess they're going to be around the same, because, like I say, the tables are incredibly good and well looked after here.
So Shaun Chipperfield lays the snooker. Kyle Cope has picked his line. It's a tricky line to find. There's not much margin for error here at all. And it just slid on him when he found the red. Yeah, it was really important for Shaun not to leave a 1 cushion escape there, and he didn't, and this means he can go after this red. This is why he wanted cue ball in hand, because this red was completely dead in the water otherwise. There's still a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, you're looking at the ball you're looking at the ball on the rail, but I think he'll just play for a double on that. I think.
Well, he could consider maybe screwing into it now off this one to left centre. I think he got just about enough. Or do you not mess about with it?
I think I'll just leave it there, because you've got the red very close to it that you can get onto in the middle to leave yourself. If he gets the cue ball just next to the blue spot, it's a very easy double. It's just plain ball. He didn't really want that nudge, did he? But he's going to try. He might well try and move it now, but again, I'd still leave it.
Sort of good news, bad news. I mean, you can now pot it clean into a pocket, which I suppose is good news.
The thing is, I'd rather have a double on this table than a ball down the rail. I really would.
has he come back a fraction far?
Tad,
As you can
but-
see when he wanted to. He wanted to be,
Yeah.
you know, low on this red so he can play into the red on the rail.
But he wants to be able to move it and try and bump it over a pocket.
Oh, it just reaches. He's played that well.
Yeah, that's better for Shaun. Early tester.
Oh, I should say, but Shaun is a really fabulous potter of ball.
Clean as a whistle.
And the way that he cues up as well just makes it look so much more impressive. You know, the lack of a proper feather and all the rest of it is just point and click for him.
It is, yeah. It's just it's one pull back and fire.
Yeah, potting shouldn't be that easy. It
No.
just isn't. But he does a very, very good job, to Shaun, of making it look very, very simple at times. And he goes 1-0 in front against Kyle Cope. If you weren't with us earlier, the 3 games we saw on the stream were good ones. We had Tom Cousins versus Cohen Bradford first up. It was a comfortable win in the end for TC. Then we saw a nail bite between Clayton Castoldi and John McAllister. It was won 8-7 by the Maltese in the end. He came from 7-3 down to win 8-7 in the deciding frame. It went down to the match clock, which struck 0. And our third and final match of the afternoon session was a weirdly good game, which felt strange to say because Craig Waddingham went 8-0 in front against Jez Graham, but Jez really showed a lot of passion to pull it back, and it finished 12-8, which was a real badge of honour, I think, for Jezza there. He stuck in it really well. Take a lot of heart from that.
Yeah, battled well, did Jez.
What a break from Shaun. Tell you what, if Shaun Chipperfield can find a way to break like that consistently, he is an absolute favourite for 99% of the matches he's going to play. Because his open table work is so good. It's often the break that lets him down because it can be a bit inconsistent, but that is perfect. If he can find a way to make his break like that, just have that on repeat, he'd be very, very tough to beat.
He's already landed a Pro Series event this season.
And that's worth pointing out, he's already very, very tough to beat.
He was the man in the middle between Craig Waddingham's 2 wins.
Oh, that's a very clever shot. And that's come out lovely. He's still got a little bit of work. He may take one of the yellows just by the baulk line to the middle whilst he's on one. Potential there. A couple of options, but yeah, opened up quite a bit with that plan. A lot of moving parts in that last shot.
I think what he wanted to do was leave himself an angle, play that plant, just kick that red away that's near those 2 yellows. He wanted it out of the way to clear the path for everything. It's just the wrong side of it, I think. He's still okay. It's not a complete disaster, but he's making it a little bit more tricky for himself.
Yeah, these are fiddly shots now. I think the leftermost of those 2 yellows together, you can pot that and just draw back a couple of inches for the yellow over the hole. Oh no, he's off angle. So he had to bump, and that is lovely.
That's where he wanted a couple of shots to go. He wanted that out of the way.
That's a lovely shot.
But everything now all open for Chippy.
Yeah,
To say
it sort of feels hard work done, doesn't it?
it does. And you know, looking well, it's all on the ball down the rail. He's going to get right behind it off this yellow.
Couldn't be better on it, really. Slightly awkward queuing over the red. Promise.
Point and click, like you say, J-Mo. Great finish.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about Craig Waddingham's nickname, the Silver Sniper. Chippy is like, he plays like a sniper, doesn't he? It's just aim and fire. There's no.
You can draw a comparison between the 2 players. I mean, I'm now sitting. I'm looking at Shaun there with the first 2 visits to the table that he's had, and I'm liking it to Craig's early start in his match against Jez Graham. It was like quick fire, it's come out all guns blazing, no messing about.
Yeah, and Craig doesn't always play that quickly. It was noticeable, wasn't it, how quickly he started against Jez? It's like he was playing on a 15-second shot clock. He was flying, so impressive. So there's similarities there, but I tell you what, the way that Chippy started out, goodness me, so impressive for his first match of the tournament, just to come out firing like this.
Yeah, he's certainly an entertainer.
Oh, I love watching him play. Absolutely love watching him play. The thing is as well, there's so much more to his game. Considering he's got that sort of special power, you almost associate him and think, oh well, if he can play that quick, that's all he does. He runs around, plays super fast and makes clearances, and that sort of lends itself to maybe being a bit streaky and all the rest of it. But it's not. He's just a brilliant pool player who happens to play really quickly.
Well, when you play at that speed, you've got to have a very quick brain. You've got to be able to see the balls immediately. We always say about Chris Melling and certain other players that play at breakneck speeds. They see the finishes. That's an incredible break there from Kyle Cope's ball wedged in the top right-hand corner. That he just prompted the referee there to get out of the way.
Yeah, watch the bottom right as we look at it from the overhead. The ball's racing each other into the pockets so quickly. They got a little bit stuck down there.
Yeah.
Both crossed the plane in the pocket, that's not an issue.
No,
the referee just gives them a little tickle to move them along.
But yeah, going back to the way that the speed players play at, this sort of like gang of, let's say this 4 or 5 of them. But
yeah, you think Melling, Shepherd, Chipperfield,
Craig Waddingham.
Yeah.
The speed that their brains see the finishes, it's incredible. Because it's not just like they're getting down 100 mile an hour, just hitting the first ball in front of them. But you could be forgiven for thinking, well, these blokes just don't look. They're just running around putting balls. They've looked. As soon as the balls have come to rest, they see their pattern, their finishes.
Yeah, and it's why for me, Chris Melling in particular is right there in the conversation for your GOATs, your greatest of all time.
There's loads of them.
We've been, both me and you have been so privileged to do quite a bit of commentary with Chris Melling, and that's in a weird way. That's when you really see how quickly he sees the game.
Yeah.
But he's incredible at it. The balls will break, and he'll take 3 or 4 seconds to look at the table, and he could tell you a route then and there. And it's so fast. It's almost jarring how quickly he sees it. He's just wired a little bit differently to everybody else.
Yeah, I've played, in the early days of Chris when I was playing, and I've played against him numerous occasions. And what can be disturbing sometimes is when you play against him, he breaks, pots the ball, and he's down quick. And I'm looking at the table, let's say, for instance, and I'm thinking, I can't see where he's going to get these out. And he's going around the table, and then he'll play a shot that you never even thought of, that opens everything up, and you think, and your heart sinks, and you just resign yourself to the fact that you're getting done by a very special player. But this is very good stuff from Kyle Cope, a good response, and this simple black ball, and he drags the frame back as Kong goes back to his corner.
Yeah, that was a needed sort of response really from Kyle Cope, because he hit a lovely break and almost run in frame number 1. Obviously hung the 8 ball, and he then has to witness a rapid fire breaking clearance from Shaun Chipperfield, and you sort of think, okay, right, reset, 2-0 down, need to get back on the horse, and he sledges the break and just fires one immediately back. And we may be in for a sort of shootout between these two players. They're both capable of putting on that kind of performance. Haven't really had one yet so far in this Pro Cup tournament, but we will. It might happen right here, where both players just really fly and give us a bit of an exhibition.
Chippy comes to break frame number 4. Can he get a break anything like his first one? And I'll tell you what,
It's
not bad at all.
You'll take this every day, won't you? cue ball's the most important thing with Chippy, and he's hit 2 in a row when that cue ball has come straight back up the middle of the table. As I say, if he can do that on repeat, he will be so dangerous, because it gives him more chances at the table. The amount of frames that Chippy loses throughout the course of a tournament because he's in off the cue ball into the middle bags is quite a lot over the course of a tournament. And in a race to 12 long tournament, if you can eliminate those, you're going to give yourself such a big chance to go deep at absolute worst and win it at best.
Nicely controlled there from Shaun.
I also think as well, and it's why I really like Chippy as one of the favourites for this tournament, is I think in the early rounds especially, and maybe towards the end as well, the match clock's going to have a bit of a say. Oh, wow. Well, that can happen when you use a rest. Have a watch of this.
This is why I was Chippy.
Yeah, Chippy by name, Chippy by nature.
Pitching wedge.
And the worst part is as well, is he's left an absolute stinking chalk mark on the table as well. He will not be happy with the refs who've got to brush that one away. Well, it can happen with the rest. I mean, we've sort of all been there, really.
Some more than most. I'll put my hand up to that. That's one of my party tricks. Stretching across or getting out the. I'm never very comfortable with the rest. Not my thing. I never really played snooker. It was all pool, but some of the players, obviously, quite a lot of the players will have got a bit of a snooker background as well, and a lot more comfortable with the rest than others. Anyway,
yeah, you'd have thought. Chippy being so quick to get that rest out, you thought, oh yeah, he feels pretty comfortable about this. But it is a different technique, and he was looking for a bit of a deep screw there. And when you do that, you don't cue it properly, i.e. by using the rest, you open yourself up to stuff like that.
Well, if you're playing a screw shot, the natural thing when you're holding the rest and the cue is to actually, as you're striking the ball, is to actually pull it away from the cue ball coming back towards you.
Down, yeah.
Because I've played shots with the rest and the cue ball's come back and stopped on the rest, and obviously it's another foul. So that, I could name about 20 different fouls that I've committed with the rest. Oh, Kyle, what have you done? Well, you wasn't expecting that. He played it very softly to sort of stun the cue ball across the table, and he's put a bit of side on that, and he's thrown the cue ball, and that's why it sort of squirted the yellow into that jaw. And Shaun Chipperfield, well, I don't think he would have thought he was coming back to the table in this frame. He wanted to make amends. I feel he's going to do it as well. And that one's going to really sit in Kyle Cope's mind there. That's the frame at his mercy. Routine. Yellow into the corner. Just like I say, we'll have another look probably in a second, but it just felt like he sort of not quite decelerated into it, but it just hit it very softly with the side, and it's sort of thrown the cue ball. So these two balls, and Shaun Chipperfield will restore his 2-frame cushion. We've already seen him pot a yellow down here with no problem. That one's kind of wiped his feet, but anyway, in it's gone, and Shaun Chipperfield now leads Kyle Cope by 3 frames to 1.
Yeah, and that there's a long way to go in this match, and they're deep old races, but just things like that is absolutely one that got away for Kyle Cope. And when a player as good as Chipperfield gives you a chance as much as that, where they've really made quite a jarring error, Chippy's going to be sat there and stewing on it. And what you need to do there if you're Kyle Cope is 1, win the frame, 2, come back, break in the next one, hammer home the advantage, and those are the sorts of things that can really swing a momentum in a match. He's just missed a bit of a trick there ultimately with that wide.
25. Cope to play. 23 frames to 1.
Nice break there from Kyle. We'll have another look. Good cue ball, straight back to the bolt cushion. Mind you, it's fairly flying around the table, the cue ball. It generates a lot of power into the break. That's just about perfect. So this is going to be a very quick response from Kyle Cope. This is the thing, if you can break and get these sort of splits, it makes the game very, very easy.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about Kyle's impressive win earlier over Chris Day. If he was breaking like this, no real surprise, to be honest with you, that he was able to rattle off so many frames.
Wants to be sure of his angle now. He's just going to run this in and just leave the angle on the red at the top, run the keyboard down past the middle bags and have the black in that centre. Nicely done there by Kyle, and this for 3-2.
Yeah, very good. Just to labour the point. Imagine if he'd taken that last frame as well.
Oh, it's all quick fire stuff. First 5 frames have flown by.
Yeah, these two don't hang about, do they? We know that from the way that Shaun plays the game, but Kyle also plays the game at a pretty good pace.
Yeah, it's a bit more measured from Kyle if you compare the two. It's just that extra couple of seconds. You know, walk and have a look at the ball. Where Shaun is as rapid as they come. He made 2 yellows off his last break and he's made 2 reds off this one, but they don't look as inviting as they did last time for Shaun Chipperfield. There's a bit of work to be done.
I was talking about before Chippy so rudely chipped the cue ball straight into the pocket and ruined any train of thought that we were expressing. Is I think a thing that will play really into his hands in this tournament is I think the match clock will be a big factor in a lot of matches. I think something that's always been very highly rated by myself, and I know Simon from speaking about it on the Monday nights and everything like that, is his match clock and shot clock management is right up there. I think he and Stevie Dempsey for me are the 2 best at it. They manage the clock impeccably well, and I think if you can do that, break well, play well, all the things that Shaun Chipperfield can just take for granted, plus the X factor of the match clock, the fact that he's in great form at the minute, just won a title, you sort of fancy him for an event like this.
Just wants to leave a little angle on the ball in the middle, and I think he's got it. To pop this in the middle and just you send the cue ball into that red, that yellow that's next to the red, and land on into the corner. Well, he missed the pot.
Yeah, those don't happen often.
No. Well. Be a bit annoyed with that. Was Shaun.
Yeah, it's one of those that you look at the replay of that and you can just sort of see how it's happened. He's got his perfect cue ball, great cannon. Oh, it's a risk. It's a risk.
Yeah, I feel he had to do it, really.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Because at the worst case, Chippy's going to have to move this red away from Kyle's yellow. And it's a really thin cut. That thin, I don't think he hit the red. Where's the black going?
Just going to stay up. No, he didn't. He missed it completely. I mean, it was razor thin.
So a great chance now for Kyle Cope to draw level.
Yeah, I said it was a risk because it just left full sight of the red for Chippy, and I just thought rather than taking on a thin cut, I actually thought he'd maybe fancy taking the red for a ride around the table, and you never quite know what would happen. Might gallop into a pocket somewhere. But as any risk goes, the risk is paid off for Kyle Cope.
This is last yellow. Tapping black now. We are going 3 each.
That we are. Matches coming towards their conclusions on the outside tables. Still in round one of the competition. Declan Brennan 10-7 up against Eddie Barker. Callum Singleton is 10-5 down to Brian Halcrow, which is what would be considered a bit of an upset. Cracking break that from Kyle, goodness me. Christy Caulfield is 9-8 up on John Rowe. And in winners round one, which is what we're in right now, Tom Cousins has started 3-2 up on Hinton Patel, and Liam White and Ronan McCarthy are 3 each, as are Kyle Cope and Shaun Chipperfield. Goodness me, what a break that is from Kyle Cope. You just can't hit them much better than that.
No, it's a great split.
And also worth pointing out that losers round one has officially got underway as well, and the first departure from the tournament is going to be Phil Parkin, who lost a decider 8-7 to Cleve Thompson in losers round one. How do you like those? Tough one for Phil.
Well,
And John McAllister currently 5-2 up on Ryan Lambeth. That's in losers round one.
that yellow was quite incredible there that Kyle Cope potted in the corner. Went into that pocket in instalments. Kyle was sort of staring at it, waiting for it to drop, and it then seemed like a lifetime. But dropping it did. And it's young Kyle Cope stays at the table on yellows. Want to get a shot of that yellow that's in front of the black as soon as possible. I think he played it to be on it here. Not sure if he can creep past. Well, now I think he's resigned to the fact that he's going to have to leave it till last. Just making this a little bit awkward. What he wanted to do is probably get the cue ball to the left-hand cushion above the yellow so he can just drop it in the middle and play for the black in the corner, but this is getting trickier with every shot. Well, he's satisfied that the yellow passes these reds into that corner. It's now about the cue ball. He's played it with a load of check side. He's just come past it, and that was the thing of leaving that very thin. Now, can he double that yellow back into the other middle? Or is the yellow too near that knuckle where it push it sideways a bit? I think he's going to have a go, whatever. It's very close.
It's a great effort.
Oh, yeah, very lucky there from Kyle. But what's he left? Chippy. Think up with the red.
Yeah, I think so. That's a bit of a bonus of bumping into his awkward ones as well.
It's okay there. The red passes the black into that centre.
He's in business here, is Shaun.
I'll be tempted to come down right down the bottom of the table now.
Not leave that for last ball?
No.
Well, that answers that question.
If you come down there, you can't fail to get one of the balls at the top.
That'd be my point regarding the 8 ball as well. Might not have left this as a connector though, but Chipperfield is bred a little bit different to the way me and Tony obviously see the game. He's got a job on to get to this red.
This is why you should have gone down and took that ball out the way.
Well, yeah, I'd agree with you now. Oh, woof.
Oh. But then again, we wouldn't have seen that shot.
What a piece of cueing that is. Oh.
Yeah, he treated us to one there. I do like that.
Well, for the second time in the match, Chippy's left scorch marks on the table.
Come and
Preferred this one though.
Yeah, let's go and get the fire brigade to come and put the cloth out. That's ridiculous.
Oh,
Naughty shot.
look at this.
I love this shot. One of my favourite. Love it.
Absolutely rips it.
That's a proper pull shot.
It's a basher special from Shaun Chipperfield.
Can't beat it. That's exhibition stuff there from Chippy. And he gets himself into a 4-3 lead.
Short tip for the plate.
All right, back with the action then. Carl Cope against Shaun Chipperfield. Chippy 4-3 up. And he is going to be dry. So watch the breakdown from Shaun Chipperfield. So far, it's been pretty perfect. This is the first one that's dry, and it's the first one he's actually lost the cue ball on. Interesting to know where that's perhaps a lack of concentration, maybe a lack of control. Could be a combination of factors, of course. That was definitely the first sort of false note, really, from Shaun Chipperfield on the break, which has been exceptional so far.
Nice little shot there from Kyle, nudging the black out into the open. Problem ball he has is the red that's on the left-hand rail. Where he is, I don't suggest he'll probably try and move that. I think he might play the red that's near to it off the yellow to make a bigger path to get on it. Play that red down the rail. Or it might just accept position full stop. See if he can get to it now. If not, he could probably play the red into the bottom right hand corner, stop the cue ball dead and play it. But if he has the gap now, he might well elect to do it. So he's going for the old stop the cue ball dead. We know he's on it now, so very nice there from Kyle. Guaranteed position onto the ball into the top left. He's went a bit further than I thought he would. I thought he'd left himself about 3 balls width short of that, so he could just roll the cut in to the corner with the red and come out for the black, but it shouldn't be any problem for Kyle. Just reroute and play the black in the other middle. So this for 4 apiece.
And back and forth we go. It's been high standard so far. That sort of shootout style that I mentioned a couple of frames ago looks like it may well just come to fruition, and we could be in for a barn burner.
Indeed. Kyle now playing with plenty of confidence. Shaun sat there ready with his 6 shooter for any opportunity. The fastest draw on the Ultimate Pool Series circuit. A quick draw chippy. So Kyle Coates to break us off frame number 9 in this race to 12. Still have 40 minutes left on the match clock.
Cool, that break.
That was so clean that the cue ball came back straight as an arrow into the middle of that cushion.
Really did. I mean,
that's your perfect break.
It's perfect. You can't break better than that.
With the cue ball to come straight back, like, I mean, that was like a laser beam.
Yeah, you just can't break better than that. It's awesome from Kyle Coates there.
Now he wants a little angle here. You can either rub into these 2 reds, but I think he probably just wants to roll this one and he creep behind. He can play it in the middle, which he's going to do, and come back out that way. Nice control. Didn't like the angle of the one into the top left-hand corner, so just makes no difference. Makes it slightly easier going this way. But let's now screw the cue ball into the side rail and back out for the ball into the centre. And this frame was all made from that perfect break from Kyle Coates.
Yeah, when you can break like that, it is just simple. The game does just become that little bit easier. It doesn't make it as straightforward. We say this all the time. Just because you've got an unbelievable break, you have to be able to back that up. But goodness me, if you've got the ability to back it up, doesn't it half make it an easier game when you can break like that? Unbelievable from Kyle Cope.
Right, so how will Shaun Chipperfield respond to that? Cope winning the last 2 frames. And that's how Chippy will respond, by potting 2 reds from the break, leaving himself on a pretty nice finish. And I think I was looking at him, I think I'll take yellows. Chippy agrees with me.
He's not touched the table for a couple of frames, so I suspect this one will be a quick one.
Yeah, it's not going to take very much time with these. If I was Kyle Cope now playing him, I'd just throw the towel. Said, right, you can have those ones.
Yeah,
just rack up
yeah.
Let's go on the next frame.
Rack and back up, ref.
Yeah, it's been fabulous standard of pool this game. This match, should I say? Uses red as a buffer. Oh, my word!
That
He could have played the other yellow and gone around the back as well.
Yeah, that to me seemed an easier shot. I hummed as soon as he took this on, because I thought, well, that seems mighty thin.
Did he get a kick?
There's potential. I mean, you know better than me to be able to spot something like that. So
well, if I'd missed it, even whatever.
Yeah,
in any way, I would have said it was a kick.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it did. I was just trying to look. If it's the black, you can see, because obviously with the stripe being round that ball, you can see if it just pushes, like skids forward. You can't see so well with one of the coloured balls, but either way, this is going to be 3 in a row now for Kyle Cope. You would never. I mean, you'd have had your house on that. I'd be living in a cave now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a real battle for Chippy. Because you're right. The first thing I looked at when it's those 2 yellows left, and you sort of land a bit in between, is the one to the bottom right. Swing around the one
natural angle
bottom left. It seemed simple to me.
Natural angle to come off 2 rails.
Yeah, I mean,
but then,
don't get me wrong. I'm in no position to be telling someone as good as Shaun Chipperfield what to do, but that's what it seemed to me.
If he's had a kick, he's going to feel absolutely gutted. But if you play that cut, I don't think you get the kick. Well, it's hard to say, isn't it? What isn't hard to say is that Kyle Cope now leads by 6 frames to 4. Chippy's going out the arena again.
Yeah, not too surprised, honestly.
Kyle Cope's doing all he has to do when he goes to the table. Clear the balls up.
Yeah, and he just has to focus on himself.
That's what he's doing.
This Kyle Cope. He's doing a good job right now. He's played some excellent stuff in this match. Yeah, and you do wonder if Chippy got a kick there. It seemed like a really jarring miss. Something that you just don't expect to see at all.
No, I don't. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, because it's very hard to see when it's one of the reds or yellows. Like, say if it had been the black, you could have seen it easily. Because of the stripe being on the ball, it would have sort of slid forward rather than to go on its path should have been with the cut. But you just can't see Chippy missing a ball like that. I mean, it's happened to us all, but away. It's this young man, Kyle Cope, that has a 2-frame lead here at Players Lounge, Newcastle under Lyme, the great county of Staffordshire.
Play me there. Okay, play. 6 frames to 4.
So Kyle to break off, frame 11.
He has been breaking like a dream.
But the last one was a laser beam with the cue ball straight back to the middle of that rail, and again he's really got his break going, but has he got a ball? The Reds come to be his friend. And you can see that he's landed, he's got a choice. Reds probably look at the order of the day. The Reds just seem all, I think they're all available. They certainly are.
When he's breaking this good and giving yourself...
Well, it's just made him it's just made him a heck of a lot worse there with that shot. I think if you're going to go into it with, then you go in sort of like a, I don't know, a New York cop going through a Brooklyn vice den to the front door, kick it open. He went for the double, and it just when you thought all those Reds were there for the taking for Kyle Cope, it's within one shot. It's Shaun Chipperfield and yellows at the table.
Yeah, it's a miss from Kyle Cope. I say, when Shaun's giving you chances, it's so important that you just sort of keep him down. Keep him out the hunt.
Well, he's got the spider out now.
Careful.
Well, the last one was the rest, so I don't think he... hello, he's got them all out.
Oh, wow. How often do you see this on a 7x4?
Yeah. Bit of Jenga.
Oh, I tell you what. When you consider that in 4 years of Ultimate Pool, I don't think we've ever seen anybody use both. But when you consider as well, the last time Chipper used a rest, and it was about 4 frames ago, he completely miscued and chipped the cue ball straight into the corner pocket. That is an incredibly impressive shot.
If only Bailey had been playing that shot, we know what he'd have done there. He played it one-handed with the dart. No, it's worked out pretty good there for Shaun. Now, can he play this yellow just thin off the red into the corner? If he can, he opens up that pocket for the other yellow. He tried to and he's missed it. He didn't contact the red. One that got away there from Shaun. That was a big opening.
Sadly, they are starting to mount up a little bit for Shaun Chipperfield.
Yeah, it had to be quite thin off that red, but because it was straight behind it, you'd have fancied him to get it. Now is Kyle going to try and pot this red, and then now he's going to kick those 2 balls apart. I was going to say, because they're no good for him either, but that's a great shot. You see where Kyle wants to be for his next shot. Right there in that line between the middle bag and the just sort of below the black spot, which will give him a clear path through to the red at the bottom table. He's going to leave it till last. Once again, I'm surprised. I thought he would have gone in there now. I was thinking if you're on those troubled balls, I think you just take them, because he could have potted it into the bottom left-hand corner. Right-hand side had been anywhere at the top of this table, that these 2 balls are dead. And my thinking would have been this would have been his last ball into the middle, and it's easy to get on the black. So now it's still just run the cue ball through, just past the black ball. behind the yellow to get onto this black and have the black in either the middle or the centre pocket or in the corner. He's playing for the kiss. So this for 7-4. And then it goes, and Kyle Cope probably barely believe he's 7-4 in front.
Yeah, and this is where Chippy's got to stay strong here, because, you know, in an ordinary race to 7, he's already he's out.
He's
You know,
made a couple of mistakes. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kyle's mopping up all his chances, but Chippy seems to be getting, you know, okay, Kyle broke. He had first dibs at that finish. Went into those 2 reds down at the bottom of the table, sort of made a little bit of hash of it, and you know, and we saw Chippy get the 2 rests out, played a great shot, opened everything up, and then that loose one there when he was trying to come off the red.
Yeah.
And then Kyle's done what he's been doing the whole match, and that's mopping up.
I think the concern for Shaun will be that he's made too many mistakes, essentially.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you make 3 mistakes against a player who's played perfect, it's a 6-frame swing.
Like 7 frames to 4.
But
Always makes 2 of a colour.
he's good for that, isn't he? Yeah, 2 yellows.
There's
down
about
for
4 or
Shaun.
5 times on his break that he's made 2 of the same colour.
Yeah, was wary of this cue, but it's tracking all the way. Got away with it. Yeah, funny one. As I say, the fact that it is such a long race gives him hope. And, you know, ordinarily series event, he's already out. But he's got plenty of time here to arrest this Shaun Chipperfield, find a momentum swing. It's a big ask for Kyle Cope to essentially, you know, play at the level he's playing right now, all the way through to 12 frames. I think Kyle's made maybe 2 errors in the whole match so far.
Got to go into this red over on the left-hand side here. Played out well.
Yeah, hasn't he just? Come up smelling the roses as well. Bit of a shake of the head from Shaun. I don't know how much more he could have asked with that shot, really.
Yeah, you can take that all day long. As he wallops in that red into the top corner, he has the angle to come down the table now. You know, I know it's 30 minutes on the clock. You just feel that you can't afford any more slips. And that again is another loose shot from Shaun Chipperfield. Can he get through to the red over the middle? If he can, it's very well. I think it's very time after bend now. Not sure there's any value playing any other shot, so you've got to play that one to the middle. Trying to look at anything that's a containing shot. I mean, you could play the red into the black and sort of try and screw the cue ball into the side rail and down into the bottom centre of the bottom cushion. And that's just handing the table over there. It's left him on a yellow into the middle. Okay, it's still a tricky out, but it's half a chance. Just not happening for Shaun at the moment. Ever since that miss or the kick that he had a couple of frames ago, it's all completely just gone off a cliff. Opting for the loss of turn, correct shot. Put Chippy in the carts here. Shaun Chipperfield did lead 4-3.
Yeah, it's just gone very wrong for him with a couple of mistakes. And it's just snowballed. This is where being having a great temperament out there and keeping level-headed is so key. There's such a long way to go in this match. You know, Kyle's only just crossed the halfway stage. costly. Not sure where this red goes. I think it can go to top right.
It does. 100% it goes top right. It might even go in the middle. Want to come further than that. Want to leave that so he could roll it up in the top corner, because I think
the 8 ball only goes bottom right. I don't think it goes anywhere else, but obviously does as he's played it.
And this will be careless from Kyle, because I think that was a bit of a rash shot to leave Chippy with that opportunity. And I'll tell you what, he's pulled one out the bag there.
Yeah, he has.
And that will have lifted him off the floor a little bit, because I'll tell you what, he was on about a seven count on the canvas there with Shaun.
Yeah, and I think he's a player who can sort of nosedive a little bit. He's got that in him. You know, he can sort of just fall off a cliff a little bit. This is just about staying in the match, giving yourself the opportunity to win. Such a long way to go in this game. I'm sure he's more than good enough to win it. So is Kyle, of course. In Shaun Chipperfield camp, you can focus on cutting out the mistakes, and you'll go pretty close. It's Kyle to break again. Oh, that break.
It's going to be dry.
You just can't believe that strike. That is such an impeccable break. Yeah, just rough for Kyle. You can't break better than that. He's been so on it in this game. Been remarkable, honestly.
Red balls in play.
Nice little shot there. Shaun just flicking into that red. And wants to push the yellow off the other red. Didn't quite have the angle. Plus, I think the red actually just goes into the centre. So position onto the last red, which is sandwiched between the two yellows, is key here. Has to be able to pot the red and get the cue ball to come through, so he could just, any side to the black ball from the bottom of the table, it goes off the yellow in the middle anyway. So it just wants to be pretty straight. Doesn't look too bad. As long as he can get the cue ball past the two yellows. If he can have plain sight, the black goes off the yellow. Perfect. Landed dead straight on that red. Very quickly, Chippy's got two in a row.
That's the thing that he can do too. When he gets rolling, he can just take games by the scruff of the neck. Just run rack after rack in no time at all. He's well in this match. Kyle Cope has played really well. And has threatened to take it away from Shaun Chipperfield.
He's probably replaying that missed double backwards and forwards in his head at the moment from a couple of frames ago.
Play 14.
Well, that has sometimes been the difference so far in this match. Is Shaun's made some mistakes, but he hasn't consistently been punished. You know, and Every time you feel like Carl's made one, it's led to at least one frame, sometimes two, before he sees the table again. It's a better break from Chippy, and wouldn't you know it, he's not rewarded with a ball. So Carl's got these yellows to look at.
Yellow balls in play.
Don't think he can sneak through to the top right to most yellow. So it'll be this one first. Now he's on it just fine. Love it when the players map out the lines for us. Keeps them nice and accountable.
Perfect angle. Can't wait to see, he could just screw straight back into that side rail, or he could punch the ball down through the gap of red and black. My preference would be to screw back into the rail. Make sure you can't snook yourself that way.
Oh, he's come up beautifully here. He'd take this all day. Looks like he's going to restore his two-frame cushion. It's been an impressive performance.
Absolutely.
From the young'uns so far. Excellent work, 8-6. He now leads, 4 from home. Would you like a update, Mr. Holgate, from around the tables?
I love your update, Shamo. That's the highlight of my day.
Well, I know that's not true, but I'm gonna go with the sentiment.
No, I'm actually interested in a few of the scores out there. So yeah, fire away, sir.
Firing. Okay. So I can tell you, Brian Halcrow is on the hill against Callum Singleton. That's 11-7 buzzer in the final match of round number 1. John Rowe has knocked out Christy Caulfield into the loser's side. He won 12-10, and Declan Brennan has also won against Eddie Barker 12-8. We'll see both those players later on. Declan Brennan, we won't see Declan, my apologies. We will see John Rowe though. He takes on Jordan Shepherd, our last match of the night. Winners round 1, some great matches here. Tom Cousins is 2 away against Hitton Patel, he leads 10-4. Dave McNamara is 3-1 up at the beginning of his match with Dom Cooney. Sean Story takes on Greg Batten, that's currently just about to get underway. Liam White and the world champion Ronnie McCarthy is 6 each. We've got Neil Raybone taking on Clayton Custodian, Simon Fitzsimmons and Ryan Pisani. Those matches are both 0-all. Elsewhere in the round, we will see on the TV table Luke Gilbert against Aaron Davies. That follows this match. We've then also got some John Rowe versus Jordan Shepherd action as well to round it out. And in between it, a sexy sandwich as we've got Christophe Lambert and Jimmy Croxton to get our evening properly underway. Elsewhere in the rounds on the outside tables, got Phil Harrison against Connor Tracy, Oli Bale, Lewis Roberts, Josh Kane, Ian Alley, Craig Waddingham against Tom Jones. Good win for Tom Jones over against Dylan Leary. And Declan Brennan is awaiting the winner of Callum Singleton and Brian Halcrow. Some results from the losers round. John McAllister is through against Ryan Lambeth. And that is as we are for now. There you are, Tony. You are officially up to date, sir.
take it all in and just enjoy the moment of listening to your dulcet tones of giving those scores across. Fantastic. There's some interesting matches tonight. Some great games. We're checking aside, obviously. Jimmy the Joker against a Joker. Christophe Lambert. I don't know why I had to say that. Childish, I know.
What a ridiculous thing to say, Tony.
It's just that time of day. Right. Great lineup this evening.
Yeah, very nice.
Good win for John Rowe against Christie. Christie's a tough player to play against.
Yeah, excellent win for him. Kyle Cope, though, is starting to swag a little bit here.
Looking very, very good is this young man. Queuing nicely.
Bang, bang, 2 in a row, just like that.
Alarm bells for Chippy, I think, just slightly.
I think so. There's something in that for sure, I think.
Well, he's 3 behind, and Kyle only requires 3 to win the match.
Yeah, so he needs to win 6-3. Well, 6-2.
So that's, you know, when you look at it like that, it looks like, ooh. You know, if you look at it, oh, he's only 3 behind, he's win this one, it's 2 sort of thing. But when you think you have to win 6-2 against, to be fair, a young man that's playing pretty A1 stuff at the moment, he's not missing anything. You know, he had a couple of little blips earlier on in the match, but he's just in mop-up mode. Because every time Shaun makes a mistake,
yeah,
he's finishing it off.
Yeah, I feel like he's punished him pretty well. As I say, there was a couple of moments earlier on where he felt like he could have been a little bit more clinical. And I certainly feel like whenever Kyle's made a mistake, Chippy's been clinical. There's just been less mistakes from Kyle. And his breaking has been exemplary.
Break. Trade 9-76.
It's a better break from Chippy, much better. These will go quick.
Just needs to get the right angle now on this penultimate red. He's happy. It was perfect. What?
Oh no.
I need to look at that again. Wow.
That's a crazy miss. And it's the second one of those that he's sort of thrown in, if you like. He had one earlier on in the match where it could be put down to shot choice, but even then it was a bad one. That's a sitter by Shaun's standards. Carl's going to have a free go at this yellow.
I wonder if Carl could have put the cue ball in between those 2 yellows at the bottom. I know it's near the red, I know it's running a risk of leaving Shaun straight across at the red, but I think if he could have played it in there gently, he could have completely wedged him in behind those yellows. It's going to have to be off 2 rails, surely off the top rail and off the side rail. Left hand side on the cue ball. come down the table. No, he's going to go and try and bend it into this. Surely it's not going to slide enough, is it? It is.
Oh wow, what a shot!
Well, very thin cut back, or is it the double? Oh, cut into the middle. Great shot from Shaun Chipperfield. Wow. When I'm looking at from here, I don't think he goes past the yellows. That's why I was looking at the corners, but what a great shot.
Now it's Kyle's turn to take a minute out of the arena. That's a splendid couple of shots from Shaun Chipperfield. After, let's be honest, the missed red was appalling, really, by his standards. Like, you just can't miss those. But as I say,
I think that's what the problem is. He thought he wasn't going to miss it, so he's just forced it, or tried to force it into that corner, and it's just caught the two jaws and just stayed there. But it's
we do talk about his cue action a lot.
Maybe the shot before it where he didn't leave enough angle because he should have been really rolling that last ball in and coming up over the black.
Yeah, I just think maybe there's. It might be, being wise after the event and all the rest of it, and perception and loads of different things. But I do think on a miss like that, I think it just comes down maybe to a little loss of concentration. He thinks the work's done, can't miss him. He's rolling, he's rumbling, he plays very quickly, very flowy, and it doesn't take much to miss a ball. We forget how difficult this game can be sometimes. You've got to concentrate to make balls, and yeah, maybe he's just had a little bit of a lapse there. I mean, from a technical standpoint, I think you're right. If he was better on it, then he could have shut his eyes and made the ball. You're correct, but I mean, that part wasn't difficult, if we're honest. Could have just seen him come off one cushion with left hand side to make it, and then snick one into the middle pocket. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no surprise to see Kyle just take a minute to step out of the arena.
Yeah, it always feels like that Shaun, if he misses something, it's something silly. It's not. I think when Shaun's presented with a really difficult shot, his mind's straight on it.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
But when it's something that's relatively a formality shot, he tends to just, I'm going to part that anyway, and I don't think he gives it the care and attention that maybe he should on the simple stuff.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, honestly. This is an absolute screaming break again from Kyle Coe.
I can't believe how straight he's bringing that cue ball back to straight every time.
And honestly, you just feel the way that pull momentum goes. I had an inkling that he was going to be dry there, because it just feels like that's just how the game goes sometimes. But no, not to be. He's made a ball, he's got a chance. It's a little tricky. Both yellows and reds here have their problems. He's going to go reds. This is interesting. I must admit, I thought he could go straight into the reds. Has he made them a plan? He's going to need to have.
It's certainly one he can make. Yes, it needs to be made, possibly. Just looking at it there, so he'd need to hit it. Well, he needs to leave an angle, and it's going to be one of those where he's going to have to maybe get on the other ball as well. The same shot. Get rid of it now. If he's screw the cue ball up to the top of the table.
All red.
Oh, that's hidden. That surely doesn't go.
I think it goes right centre, but he's got to land there.
We might go bottom left-hand corner.
So I think that's tighter.
It's fooled me 3 or 4 times.
Well, his issue as well is still this red that he's nearest to at the moment. It's not exactly an easy ball. And he wanted to be on that next for the 8 ball. That's not going to happen. So he's going to have to play this and find a way to connect these 2 reds together. All the very best, young man. If he gets out from here, he's played 3 fabulous shots. Hold on to your hats. Is he going to fluke it? No, not quite got the legs. I'd be interested to know what his plan was with that red, because he's just almost giving himself sight of it. But to get that tracking towards a pocket, really tricky. Maybe it was a case of just getting his red out into the open and not moving any of Shaun's yellows. There was an element of that, because that yellow's not exactly easy for Shaun, and Shaun is not going to play the dance, as he left on one cushion here. And Kyle could go close to making this red into the centre. I feel like with the 8 ball next to it, feels like quite a big target, strangely. Well, I wasn't expecting to fall short on that side, must admit. Foul calls. Shaun will not hang about from here.
His first shot here is going to cut this into the corner and send a cue ball into those 2 yellows stuck on the rail.
It's just fiddly enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it needs to be pretty accurate, this plant, because if he hits too much of the first yellow, they might not make the part. Well, he's not gone. I'll tell you what, that's pretty wise. Nasty snooker's put him in anyway.
This might be an impossible one.
Get the cue ball out of there. Get the cue ball out, sort of dig down with some right hand side and swing the cue ball into the.
I'm looking at the overhead that's in front of us here, and it just looks like it's impossible. There's just enough room. It would have been one of the best shots of the day if Kyle Cope had got out of that. 12 minutes and 20 seconds left. Will that become a factor in this match? Shaun Chipperfield creeping back into it after looking not that long ago like he'd given up the ghost a little bit.
Just going to play this yellow off the other yellow here, just free these balls apart and just spread them away from each other, so it just helps with position. Yellow at the bottom of the table now, cue ball naturally goes straight up the table. Nice angle now for Shaun to screw the cue ball down. He's going to get to within 1 of Kyle Cope. It's for 9-8.
Oh, we've got a game on our hands. We really have a proper game on our hands now. It could be about to get really fun.
Frame 18. Chipperfield break.
Shaun Chipperfield to break off now. Trailing by 9 frames to 8. Cue ball's gone in the corner.
1 hand for Bob.
That's what I talk about when that break. It's just that little bit less reliable than it really needs to be. Straight in off.
Station call. Yellow ball's in play. Second shot clock now in play.
On to the 15-second shot clock we go. There will still be a lot of fun and games to come in this match, you feel. 9-8, 15-second shot clock. There's a lot in the balance.
Perfect there for Kyle. Rolls this in. Just to get to 10.
Yeah, first to double figures in a race to 12 does feel significant.
It was that 4 in a row when Chipperfield was 4-3 up, and those 4 frames there, that's that 4-frame sandwich in the middle,
Yeah.
where Kyle Cope got to 7-4 up, and he should have gone 8-4 as well.
Yeah, and it stole all the momentum, and
When Chippy had he missed that yellow. It's I think he had a kick, and from that moment on, Chippy's world sort of collapsed around him for a good 15 minutes, where Kyle won every frame.
Yeah.
And that's been the difference. Kyle's managed to just row the boat a little bit nearer the line and keep Chippy behind him. 1 and 2 frames ahead. But still plenty of time for Chippy. But this is such an important break now as we see Craig Waddingham and Christophe Lambert sat there. He'll be on later this evening. We saw Wads earlier. He was very, very good.
yeah, 3 Pro Series champions
Yeah.
in a line right
Yeah.
there. Chippy and Wad won a couple of weekends ago. 7 and 8 together, having a little chat.
Christophe won last season.
Did. All right then, Kyle Cope, 10-8 in front. And it has been built on the back of this exceptional break of his. Oh. There's a lot of players who would give a lot to swap breaks, because it's just been, it's like a piston.
That cue ball, seriously, it's like a laser beam just coming straight back.
Yeah.
It's a Hilti drill.
So I mean,
They fire
it's
the
like a
light.
piston. It's just like this machine-like back and forward in a row. Really, really impressive. Carl's done some really good work through this game. It's not as if he's just been breaking, leaving himself dollies and rinse and repeat. But I mean, it definitely helps to have a break like that.
The thing is, in matches this long, everybody's going to make some mistakes somewhere along the line. You can't just play a first to 12 and just mash
Well,
through
unless it
balls.
was Carl Sutton and Ronan McCarthy in the World Final. That's the
Well,
only
yeah.
one I can sort of think of, really.
But then, there's a lot of dry breaks there, especially the second half of the match from Carl.
Yeah.
And Ronan's just went phenomenal.
Pretty good shape there. Pretty good shape.
Yeah, middle next. Just roll this in and leave an angle on that yellow over the left-hand side. That's a tad too far, but it's okay. A tad. If that got any further, It'd have been a very narrow angle. He could still dig this in and get back to that yellow on the rail.
Yeah, well played.
He played that nicely. That's a nice angle as well because he's screwing the cue ball away from that cushion now as well, so he can get his hand on the table. Anywhere just south of the blue spot will do for Kyle. Perfect. Or is it? I'll tell you what, he could have done just another couple of inches there.
Well, I think he's going to go into the 8 ball, but I think he'll naturally have a shot down to the bottom left if he plays it slow.
Yeah, well, what he wants
just
to
like
do,
that.
he wanted to just be able to pop it in and screw back a little bit, but this is fine. I mean, this has been a nice, tidy little finish, all from that laser beam break again.
Yeah, he's going to go on the hill here. Massive shot. Heart of the pocket. Kyle Cope one away against Shaun Chipperfield. He put in a brilliant display in round 1, bumping Chris Day to the loser's side. He was 8-2 up in that game. And now he's one away from eliminating recent pro champion Shaun Chipperfield. Shaun Chipperfield looks like a man who's just one frame away from the guillotine. Won't be fatal though. Shaun Chipperfield, it's double elimination this tournament. He will just go to the loser's side. Still less than ideal. Using up your life this early in the tournament. Kyle Cope is sitting pretty comfortable right now. Shaun Chipperfield has to win the next 4 frames. If anyone can play quick and rattle off a couple, put a little bit of pressure on, it will be him.
Well, the balls are there for a quick 5 frame for sure.
Yeah, he just wants to think it through. The lowest yellow is awkward. He wants to get rid of it pronto, so he's going to. Pumps in that 5'8" ball as if it was nothing. It was, yeah, rapid counter clearance for Shaun Chipperfield, who answers the Kyle Cope break and run with one of his own, and he needed to. He's back within 2. Still needs to win the next 3 frames, and the way Kyle has been breaking, it feels like he's going to rely on a Kyle Cope mistake, because you just can't imagine if Kyle continues to break the way he has, he's going to break dry. He's breaking too well.
Well, here he is, the man on the hill. The front of his mind now will be to make another break and another faultless frame and mop up to win this match. Keep a little bit off centre this time. He put a bit more into that, and I think it was just more making sure he made a ball, which he has done. A little bit finicky down at the bottom there, and he's looking to see if he can get to that yellow over the back. Not sure if he can get through. I don't think he can. But yellows will be the order of the day. He can't get through, but playing this yellow into the centre. Deal with the balls at the top of the table next. just wondering, in the back of his mind now, is the clock? It has to be, because just by leaving that yellow in front of those 2 reds, Chippy would have to break them out.
Yeah, it feels like an insurance policy. 4 minutes to go. If ever you needed somebody to pull out a 30-second clearance, Shaun Chipperfield will be at the top of your list. Difficult man to clock manage against. Maybe Carl Coates, you just have to focus on your balls here.
Well, he's
just
going.
Get out.
He has the ankle here, but it's a very deep screw though to go into there. Maybe he could just drop it in.
I wonder if he can, yeah.
I think he can, you know, just play a little drag shot. Yes, he can.
Oh, he's not going. I am surprised. 3.5 minutes. It's not loads of time, but against a man like Shaun Chipperfield, he doesn't need loads of time. And he only needs 2 frames to tie. He needs 3 to win, but 2 to tie in 3 minutes doesn't feel a whole lot. And you know that Shaun Chipperfield will fancy a 6-red shootout against anybody.
Yeah, and you know he'd take the tie anyway.
I must admit, I didn't love that shot choice from Carl Cope. And Shaun Chipperfield's come up smelling of roses here.
Well, you always knew that Chipperfield was going to go into that cluster, whatever. And this is just what he needed. Get to 11-10, and there's going to be plenty of time. There's actually plenty of time to get 2 frames on the board.
Oh, you are stewing if you're Carl Cope here, aren't you?
Well,
it's not the greatest shot Shaun Chipperfield's ever played.
no, but it's Chippy's break next, so he can get this in. He's going to try and... You can play this with sort of screw and running side, so he screws your cue ball into the left-hand rail, into the top rail, right-hand rail, and back round for the black in that bottom corner.
Oh, he's missed it.
Well, he's gone for the really thin cut there. I'm not sure that was, well, it would have been if he got it. He's overcut it.
Oh, it should be it.
And that's a real gift for Kyle Cope.
He just came up awkward on those last 2 reds. Didn't land nicely on his last one. And in the end, it's going to be costly. Take nothing away from Carl Cope. He's played phenomenally well in this match. And this will be a very well-earned victory and a marquee one over Shaun Chipperfield, who is defeated 12 frames to 9. A brilliant performance from Carl Cope, who takes some acclaim from his supporters who've come down to lend their cheers today. Big win for Kyle Cope. We'll hear from him in a second.